Sam just said back to you, which I thought was pretty cool. Sam's helping out. She's sitting behind the computer and is basically when it cuts two different cameras into different VTs or tracks, that's basically Sam's handiwork. So it should be pretty smooth, and she's also doing the audio as well. Multitasking really. But my second guest tonight here on Festivision Live is Josh Rutter, who's worked out like a butterfly dream boy. Has two performances, unless I'm completely wrong on that, next week at the festival. It takes place on the roof of the Aotea Centre. As you just saw, I should actually ask you, what did we just see?
Oh, we just saw...
Well, we didn't see it, because I haven't got a monitor, but
the
everybody
viewers
else
at home,
saw it.
yes.
The viewers at home.
Yes, the
Cool,
viewers
it was a TV turn.
the viewers at home just saw... I don't want to give too much away, but it's one of the sections of the piece. Yeah, right. is based around that object.
The thing I kind of liked about that, the structure was, it just struck me as pretty amazing what you can do with two fans. You know, what seemed to be like plastic bags sort of taped together.
Yeah,
like that's amazing. I think people forget that stuff can be pretty simple and pretty impressive.
Yeah, tape and plastic and the domestic fan, you can make a really big object.
Yeah. How did you
come across that? Yeah. It's from this book called Working Big, which is a teacher's resource from the 70s for making outdoor artworks with school children. And one of the sections in the book was about inflatables. And I didn't realise it was so easy.
Right.
Until I read that book, and so I gave it a go.
Bloody 70s. Freewheeling 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a teacher who wrote it for teachers as a resource.
Yeah. My friend gave the book to me, and then we got excited, and so we made this thing together.
Damn 70s. Do you remember that kid's book? I don't know if you remember it. It was basically about a family of hippies. It was obviously made in the 70s, and it was all just the kid. It was from the little girl's point of view, and she was talking about how different her family was, and they're going, I've got two mummies and stuff like that, and they're all just like the pictures. I remember all these like people with more hair and stuff, and just sort of walking around. There was like they're building like gazebos in their backyard
and geodesic domes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's all that stuff as well. I love that area. What I've seen online of Dream Boy is a short piece, I think, from the Dunedin Fringe Festival. Is that the last time that it was performed?
No. Yes, but it's changed a lot since then.
Yeah, I was going to...
This piece we've been doing this piece for a couple of years. We're just slowly working on it.
Yeah.
And it changes a lot each time, so the form is very different now. That piece in Dunedin was pretty theatrical, like it's like a little piece of theatre, but the piece here is a different kind of genre.
Right, in what way? Like...
I hope it's less theatrical. Right. Yeah, and it's an extended initiation rite, male initiation rite.
Is the boxing theme still strong enough, or has it changed?
It's in there, but it's not the main look or anything or theme. No.
Right. And when you say initiation, sort of initiation ceremony, can you explain a little bit about that, man? A bit more? That idea of that?
Well, just that way that people get from one phase in their life to another phase, having a 21st or going from a child to a man. I mean, it's in our culture these days, it's sort of initiation rites kind of take a long time, and they're quite low-key, I feel, these days. They're not particularly violent or harrowing, a lot of them.
Yardi's pretty harrowing.
I suppose so. I never did that.
No, I didn't either. I didn't even do 21 shots.
Yeah, neither. And so maybe that's why I made this piece.
Yeah, I just sort of went to my grandparents' place, read some Tintin books. That was about it.
Yeah, exactly. In some cultures in the past, you get blindfolded for 2 weeks and have to drink your father's blood.
Right, yeah.
Well, or something like that.
Or if you just live in Hamilton.
Yeah.
That's my standard joke. It's terrible. I shouldn't hassle people from Hamilton.
See if you can fit it in again.
I probably will, actually, several times, if that's okay. So obviously it's a study of masculinity. Is that kind of right, or
yeah? I mean, study. I think study implies being smart and rigorous about it. It's definitely examining masculine territory and identity, but it's I hope that it's more than that. Yeah, but that's unavoidable. Yeah.
Okay, but more than that in what way? Like,
Well, I hope it's more complex than that for someone witnessing it. That it doesn't just read so like it's just all about that.
Yeah,
I hope
okay.
that there's more happening. More associations for someone watching it. Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So how many people are going to be on stage? How many people are involved with like
14.
14, wow.
Yeah.
You really have expanded.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so who's working on it apart from yourself?
The two other guys from that clip, Jeff Gilson and Stephen Bain, and 11 of my friends, and just those people I know. They're all men. I just asked people I knew to do it rather than searching out strangers or something. But they're quite a bunch.
Yeah. One of the things that I know that it's obviously moved on from that, but the stuff online that I saw from the Dunedin Fringe Festival, which involved boxing. Have you boxed at all, or would you?
I haven't boxed in a ring, like in a competition.
Right.
I do boxing classes and spar and stuff. But,
Okay. Yeah. What I thought was interesting about when I was watching it, and I wanted to bring this up, was obviously it was about boxing, or the sort of the form, if you like, of boxing was there, and it was there you were taking that. I was sitting there going, all I'm seeing for some reason is rugby. Like it was really quite weird because I was putting my own sort of slant on it and going, and obviously taking news and stuff. Just going, all I could see is rugby, and how the All Blacks are held up to be these Adonises, these gods for our sort of entertainment.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird considering it was so clearly taking boxing stuff.
Yeah, well, that's definitely part of the work is examining those kinds of situations.
Right.
A lot of those situations between, older and younger generations of men, not just men, but in this case men, and those relationships between sort of mentors and students, or athletes and coaches, or children and parents, and teachers and students. And so, obviously if you experience that in rugby, that would translate.
There's a lot of it,
It's very similar,
It's a really interesting relationship.
It is.
It's really, because, what's the old line, parents can fuck you up? Or people, mentors can fuck you up.
Yeah.
Anybody can. It reminds me, I seem to recall, like, when Anton Oliver wrote his book, his autobiography, there was...
he's the cultured one, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone was first of all just going, oh, he's an All Black, but he likes,
Playing guitar.
words and stuff, But I remember a TV interview, a story about him, and he was like hanging out with older guys, just sort of having a drink, drinking some Tygo, Pinot Noir or something like that. And they made a really big point to go, he actively seeks out older men to hang out with. I thought that's a really bizarre thing to point out. I don't know. Well, I mean, could you, presumably when you were creating the piece, so I don't even know where I was going with that. A lot of that's going to happen.
It's an interesting point.
I'm just
freestyle.
Yeah, just riffing, really.
Jam it out.
So presumably you worked in your own experiences of having mentors or people of that relationship into the piece, or did you work with...
some of them were in the piece too.
Oh yeah.
Obviously I was very conscious of that in my own life. All of that stuff in the piece now is very in the background. That piece in Dunedin was really... I didn't like how... I got bored of it because the situation is so kind of obvious. So I tried to make something a lot less obvious, a lot more expanded this time. But I hope that relationship with the older generation, I think, is really interesting. Especially this concept of training that people do, whether they're going to the gym or whatever. What are you training for? I come up against that a lot in my own questioning. It's like, what are you training for? What's the goal? Is there a goal?
Right.
I mean, often doing stuff makes you feel better and all that stuff, but then that's a whole other set of questions. It's like, why are you training to hit someone really well? Why are you training to run really fast?
How do you choreograph? Because is it like you have printouts of shoes and put them on the floor and there's like little...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm not really... Well, there's lots of different kinds of choreography. For
Right.
instance, I'm not... Especially for this piece, I'm not making phrases of movement in space that follow paths in space, like a ballet. I'm not making a ballet. It's more like a choreography of tasks. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So it's there are spatial things like spatial directions and stuff like that, but all of the compositional values for the spatial aspects of the piece is quite basic stuff. The complexity is in what we're doing, which is it's not choreographed, so there's no it's not improvised.
Yeah.
Oh no, some of it is choreographed. I'm gonna eat my words now.
So it seems like it's quite a mix in the end.
It's definitely a mix.
Yeah, of different styles of choreography.
Yeah, and I mean, in fact, there are some stepping patterns for some people, but I mean, it's more like you learn a basic system and then you use that system to improvise with, rather than
Right, okay.
you have to go here, then, and there, then. It's like move like this with these rules for this long,
Right.
and see what happens.
That seems kind of scary. There must be a lot of trust within the group as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, and people must be really quite experienced.
No, a lot of them don't perform.
Oh,
much
really?
at all. Yeah, no. I'm not working with like professionals or whatever. Well, not professional dancers. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm just working with mostly, people I find interesting and some of my friends.
Great.
So
That's a good
not that
thing.
adventurous actually, but
Awesome. So, Dance Like a Butterfly Dream Boy, that's on the... You can probably tell me.
the 22nd and 23rd, next Wednesday and Thursday.
Next Wednesday and Thursday, as I say, and it's on the roof. Is it still on the roof?
The former helipad.
The former helipad. Do they not fly helicopters anymore? That's kind of weird.
No, apparently theatrical productions don't fly in their leads anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
I think they did in the 80s.